We heard that we're starting up 4 months later.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us where your character is at.
I think at this point she's kind of she's trying to remove herself a little bit from the debauchery, to say the least, that's happening in New Orleans. Obviously, I don't know how successful she's going to be at that. And I think right now it's just her taking a step back and trying to assess where she wants to go from here, and that's a complicated question. But you know, I was just saying before, you really get to see Cami who she was all along. You know, season 1 was all these discoveries for Cami, and it was a lot of her realizing mind-blowing things, and there was a lot of scenes of her like, I can't even fathom what you're telling me, and obviously huge losses in her family. And so season 2, you get to see, now that she has all the information, who she's been all along, and I'm really excited about that.
What's her relationship with Marcel going forward after they had their little night?
Obviously it's always going to be complicated. I think she's drawn to dark men with complex, dark pasts. Because really, she's a woman with a complex, dark past, and so she can relate to that. These men happen to be vampires, and she's human, so that's complicated. But I think you will see her struggle with that dynamic season 2 between her and Marcel.
Her and Klaus.
Her and Klaus, well, obviously she said, I'm not going to see you, or he said, I'm not going to see you anymore. And so I don't know what I can say, but in the beginning of season 2, you see that the two of them aren't quite ready to fully move on from their friendship. In whatever way. You'll see.
A show like this with werewolves and vampires and all supernatural people, or creatures, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody's very edgy and fearless. You yourself, do you have any fears? Or are you pretty badass?
Rocked with fears. Oh my gosh, everything. I'm afraid of everything. I am afraid of spiders, of bees, of heights, of planes. Everything. I'm kind of afraid of the dark. Shamefully, still a little bit afraid of the dark. Yeah, I'm not nearly as brave as any character on the Vampire Diaries, or as cool, or as deep, or as dark. I'm like light, fluffy. I like rom-coms, and I'm afraid of everything.
Did you have to confront some of your fears in the show?
Not yet. Actually, I did have to jump off that ledge. That's a height thing. And we discovered very quickly that I am not an action hero. And I don't know if you're going to see much action from Cami season 2, just because and I'm on that ledge, that balcony, and I'm like, do I have to jump? Like now? I jump now? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, do the boys jump? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'll jump. And then I swing myself over, and you just see me go. And they're like, no, Cami's really brave, and she just jumps. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
Is there anything specific you would like to see Cami do in season 2?
That's a really good question. I would like to see Cami be more strong in her beliefs, and you saw that kind of in season 1, but the writers have set up such a wonderful moral base for her. She's really solid morally, and I would love to see her stay there, because everyone else is so fluid morally. They will give up their morals if that makes them go further in life. I would like to see her counter that with a really great moral foundation.
With the kind of broken up of all the different, the vampires and the werewolves, where does Cami is she all by herself when the season picks up, or does she align herself with the side?
She thinks she's all by herself. she thinks she's all by herself, but she's in New Orleans, so obviously, you know, you don't know, you think you know people, but they might not even be people, that you don't know what's going on. I think one of the things that is a fault of Cami's, but also her greatest strength, is how much she trusts people naturally, and believes people and believes in people.
Is there anyone you're going to see have a relationship with or work with in Super 2 that you haven't before?
Yes, she has a really great new relationship coming with Vincent, who you guys met, I think at the end of season 1. He's an incredible actor. I'm so excited to work with him. I haven't yet, and I think that dynamic's going to be really interesting. But he is helping her along in her degree as a psychologist.
What kind of interaction will Cami have with Davina and Haley? You know,
That's a good question. I would love to see more of those interactions. What's that test? That feminist test?
The Bechdel test?
Yeah. Bechdel? Yeah. I would love us to, pass that test every episode. Let's do it. And I love those girls, and I would love to have so many scenes with those girls. Every scene I've had with them so far, even that one scene I got to have with Phoebe, was so fantastic. So I hope you'll see a lot more of that. And I think you will.
How's the atmosphere on the set? Is there a lot of sort of joking around? Because
Tons of joking around. Tons of joking around. It's amazing that the show ends up so serious. We'll watch a show like this is really serious. We do a lot of laughing and pulling pranks, and we really just enjoy each other's company, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye, guys.